These choices matter. Tanaka followed his drift. Ah, yes, I see what you mean. He inclined his head and thought as the saga continued. Could someone have overwritten the fingerprint authentication program? Which is to ask Makino. Could someone have overwritten the fingerprint authentication program? Maybe whoever was behind the secret trials had reprogrammed the engineering criteria while Osawa was overseas. That would allow them to gain access to the research city without Osawa being there. But that would only be possible if they had Tanaka's cooperation. Tanaka's eyes widened when Osawa shared his conjecture. Sir, he asked, you don't think I was part of this, do you? Of course not. I was merely suggesting the possibility. The possibility is zero, Tanaka said. Making any changes to the system requires consent from the board, including your own personal approval, sir. Ah, yes, you're right, of course. I certainly didn't mean to imply anything. Osawa winced apologetically. The living room door opened with a soft creak. It was Kajiwara, and he looked still stiff and pale. Oh, something terrible has happened, he said. Visions of tragedy filled Osawa's mind. Maria? Is she? Kajiwara shook his head. No, it's not that. What is it then? Osawa asked, his voice trembling. Sir, I need you to stay calm. Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. You see, the toilet's clogged. So stupid. Shoving, no, maybe this one. I feel like A and B are just bad choices. Hey, come on, knock it off. Sawa lifted the punch like a weapon. Quiet, Tanaka chided again, taking out his cell phone. Here, take a look at this. Huh? Sawa could never have anticipated what he saw. This one's like a very bad one. Like, I don't want to do that. Having his privacy invaded by this degree was the ultimate disgrace. Right, Sawa huffed. You're an amazing detective, Kajiwara. Just incredible. See you in a new light now. Now, would you please? Please leave me alone, kid. He got up to leave the study. Sir, hold on. There's something I wanted to give you. Kajiwara reached... I don't think these matter either. Oh, it does matter. What does it do? I don't need a damn banana. Sawa fled the room. He needed to be alone, if only for a few moments. But even if he could somehow shake Kajiwara, the other detectives had eyes all over his house. He had reached the limits of his patience. He couldn't even think straight anymore. He headed for the back door, trying to avoid the police. Opening the door quietly, he slipped across the yard and out through the back fence. He didn't want to venture too far from the house. He found a tiny alley and took cover there, thankfully for a few moments to himself at last. While there, he caught sight of a man and a young girl, father and his daughter, running past on the main road. It looked as if they were running from something. The man glanced anxiously back over his shoulder, dragging his daughter by the hand. Osawa watched absently as the pair rounded a corner and disappeared from sight. Not long after, a pair of thuggish-looking men came running along, heading in the same direction. You there, one of them called out. You see a guy and his daughter around here? Tsuryu Toyama and his daughter Hana. They've come to Shoto while running from loan sharks. Just moments ago, Toyama was talking on the phone with Minorikawa. So there was 2 jump opportunities? I don't need to do that one. They should have come by this way. There was a hint of madness in his voice. Osawa feigned ignorance. Don't think so, no. Come on, Yutaro, let's go, said the older man. Hooray, replied the other. The 2 dashed off in the direction the father and daughter had gone. Osawa took several long deep breaths. He managed to calm down slightly, but the worry gnawing away inside him still lingered. Osawa groaned inwardly when he got back to his study. You're still here? Yes, sir, I was told to keep my eyes on you after all. Believe me, it shows. Mr. Osawa, if you're going to go outside, I'd appreciate it if you let me know first. What? Had Kajiwara realized he snuck out of the house? But more importantly, Kajiwara reached back into his suit pocket and then again. I've been meaning to give you this to you. He held out a small plastic bag. Inside was a scrap of paper of some sort. What's that? Osawa asked. This is what was clogging the toilet, sir. With some hesitation, Osawa took hold of the bag. Huh? That's... The passenger name here is listed as Kenji Osawa. In the plastic bag was a plane ticket, specifically the one for the upcoming flight to the US the following week. He'd left it on his desk. How had it wound up getting flushed down the toilet? This looks like it's pretty important, sir, Kajiwara said. I must say it was pretty careless of you to accidentally flush it. A wry sort of smile came to his face. Although, the detective added, I suppose the question of who flushed it is another matter entirely. Sal was at a loss for words. Someone had tried to flush his plane ticket on purpose? He was sure of it. He found some new info in the running hammer slows down, but he also lost some more time. The running camera piece was still wasn't finished. It was going to be a near thing to get it done before the sales demo started. Instead of returning to his writing, he got out his cell phone. Toyama had got another crazy ideas. If he tried to hang himself again, the thought had been Arakawa to where to work on his copy. The phone rang several times before someone picked up. Mr. Toyama, where are you right now? Minurikawa asked. Right now? I'm on the run, somewhere near Shoto. Just double checking now. Toyama, speaking in an oddly hushed tone. Shoto, after you left the office, some guy came to collect on my debts. So I made a run for it. Okay, so he wasn't dead, but the situation was still pretty bad. Look, we'll get you through this somehow, Minurikawa said, hoping it was true. You need to get back to the office ASAP. Maybe it was this one then. No. Maybe it is that one. Just keep your head down and stay out of trouble. Stay where you are now. Stay where I am, but what am I supposed to do? Taylor's voice dropped in and out. It sounded like he was moving quickly. Find some place to hide and just lay low for a while, Minurikawa told him. Right, Toyama said weakly, heating up. Minurikawa let out a deep sigh and turned back to his laptop. Ah, that's confusing. Sal fled the room. He needed to be alone, if only for a few moments. But even if he could somehow shake Kajiwara, the other detectives had eyes all over his house. He had reached the limits of his patience. He couldn't even think straight anymore. He headed for the back door, trying to avoid the police. Opening the door quietly, he slipped across the yard and out through the back fence. He didn't want to venture too far from the house. He found a tiny alley and took cover there, thankfully for a few moments to himself at last. He hadn't been there long when he caught sight of a man and a young girl, father and his daughter, running past on the main road. It looked as if they were running from something. The man flashed a look back over his shoulder and took his daughter by the hand and pulled her off the road. They crouched behind some bushes, hiding. As he looked around, wide-eyed, he spotted Osawa watching him from the alleyway. "Help!" the man called out. "Help me! Please! If these guys catch me, Oh!" The father's eyes went wide when he got a look at Osawa's face. You're... Huh? Osawa thought he recognized this fugitive too, though he couldn't remember from where. "There are some real nasty guys out there," the man said. "I know I have no right to ask you this, but please at least help me keep my daughter safe. Probably you should go to the police if..." "No! They won't be able to help me with this. Please, I'm begging you. Help me." I'm sorry, but... "Please, if not me, then at least help my daughter," the man pleaded. Osawa looked down at the girl. Unlike her father, she was calm and reserved. She reminded him of Maria just a little. People needed professional help. Osawa decided to call the police. Osawa couldn't just stand out of the way. He said to help them evade the pursuers. Alright, follow me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. He led the two back to his house and into the storage shed out back. "You can lay low in here for a while if you like," he said. The shed was fairly large. There was plenty of space for the man and his daughter. "I'm so sorry," the man said. "I'm not sure I can possibly thank you." Don't worry, Osawa closed the shed door and headed back out to take a look around. Two thuggish-looking men came running up to him. No doubt these were the people the father and daughter were running from. "You there," said the one in his sunglasses. "Did you see a guy and his daughter around here? They should have come by this way." There was a hint of menace in his voice. A man and his daughter. I feel like... I don't know. Yes, I think I saw them run through there. Here. Which way did they go? That way. I feel like either they should have made it a keep out or a bad end here, because jeez, this part's confusing. Which way did they go? That way. Sweet, we almost got them. The pair sped away. Osawa waited until they were fully out of sight, then called out to the shed. Alright, they're gone. The door stayed closed, however. I'm really sorry, the man called back from inside. Those guys might come back this way. Is it okay if we hide out here a little while longer? He sounded desperate, pitiful really. Sure, go ahead, Osawa said. With that, he headed back inside. Evidently, he just wasn't going to get any time alone today, no matter where he went. Reading the rest of that story since I know how it ends. The two detectives took up position on opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. You ready? He asked. Just give me the word. There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place, and sure enough, the second man approached the one holding the attache case. After exchanging a scant handful of words, he took the case and walked off. Sasayama! I'll handle the guy with the case. Got it. Sasayama broke into a run, chasing after the man who had taken the ransom. Kano hung up his phone and rushed to close the distance from the other man. You there, stop where you are. The suspect turned and Kano recognized his face. He was indeed a member of the foreign crime syndicate that operated in Shibuya. Is the hostage safe? Kano demanded. The man's only response was an unsettling grin. Answer me! But though he repeated the question, the man remained silent. Kano took out a pair of handcuffs and reached over the suspect's wrist, took out his phone, checking was the sign on I don't like either option. Took out a pair of handcuffs and reached for the suspect's wrist. Could have been used by police officers to shackle suspects in Japan. The belt that makes up part of the officer's duty uniform as a storage pouch for a pair of handcuffs, baton, handcuffs, and a pistol. The man pulled a knife from his breast pocket and swung it right at Kano's face. Kano managed to jerk away in time, but his momentum carried him too far backward and he sprawled out into the pavement. Damn! The suspect was already making a run for it. Suddenly, a large car of foreign make skidded to a halt, blocking out the man's escape route. A tall Caucasian man jumped out. He wore sunglasses and a crisp suit. Now, corner, the fleeing suspect brandished his knife. Be careful! But Kano didn't even have time to finish shouting his warning. There was a metallic twing and the knife went flying through the air. The man in the sunglasses snapped his right foot out, sending the weapon flying. As the attacker's jaw dropped in astonishment, the newcomer proceeded to elbow him right in the face. The blow connected and the suspect went down hard. Ow. The fallen man turned his head to look at Kano. His mouth moved as if he was attempting to say something. He never got it out. The man in the sunglasses kicked him in the face. With a groan, the perp slumped down unconscious. Hey, Kano snapped. What the hell are you doing? He stormed over to the man with the sunglasses. You look familiar. The man nonchalantly dusted off his suit. You were ordered to watch and see where these guys went, right? He spoke in fluent Japanese. Imagine that you are a Japanese person who has never been in a situation where you suddenly had to speak to a foreigner. You haven't even used English in ages. Your tension grows. Think back to English class in school, but nothing you remember is helpful. You muster up the courage to choke out a stammered. Do you... The foreigner responds fluently in your own language. Nihongo de daijoubu desu. It's alright, I speak Japanese. What happens to that Japanese sense of honor I've heard so much about? Who are you? I'm from the U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office, the man replied. An embassy is where ambassadors from a foreign country lodge and conduct much of their official diplomatic business. Under international law, ambassadors are guaranteed diplomatic immunity, and the embassy grounds are considered territory to the home nation. The U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office is responsible for the security of American diplomatic facilities and personnel, provides American citizens in Japan with information on public order. It's located in I think that's supposed to say Alaska? Akasaka? In the Minato ward of the Tokyo metropolis. Oh no. Akasaka. Okay, so I guess this is Japan. To me it seemed like it's supposed to be Alaska. That's confusing. He presented Kano with his ID. Jack Stanley, Regional Security Officer, Security Systems Officer, May 25th, 2002, September 1st. Jack Stanley. Title was listed as Security Assistant Officer. Kano glanced at the car he'd shown up in. The license plate was blue with white lettering, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but the ministry wouldn't just send some diplomat to intervene in a police investigation. Kano pulled his phone out of his pocket. Sasayama's name was displayed across the LCD screen. How are your things on your end, Kano? I have the suspect in custody. How about you? Sasayama hesitated. He got away from me. What about the Itachi case? I'm sorry, but he's still got to be around here somewhere. I'm gonna look around some more. Sasayama hung up. What's your name, Detective? Jack Stanley asked as Kano was processing this new information. Kano from the Shibuya precinct. Alright, Kano. I'm going to need you to follow my instructions for the next while. Why is that? Instead of answering, Stanley took out his cell phone and made a quick call. After a few moments, he had the phone out for Kano. Here, permission from your boss, he said. What? Kano squawked. He took the phone, gingerly bracing himself. Kano speaking. You imbecile! What the hell are you thinking? It was Kuze, and was he furious? Understandably so, really. Kano had disobeyed a direct order, and for what? All he had accomplished was losing track of the Itachi case. I'm sorry, sir. You really think sorry is gonna cut it? You're off the force, Kano. Kano slumped defeated. He had no reply. He knew he deserved whatever punishment he got. Still, orders from up top didn't trump the hostage's safety. If he could have gone back and done it all again, he was sure he'd make the same call. Maybe that meant he wasn't detective material, but so be it. That's what I want to tell you, Kuze continued. But for now, I need you to follow the instructions of the guy there, Stanley. Do whatever he tells you. Sir? Kano hadn't seen that one coming. He disobeyed orders, that was undeniable. And yes, he knew he deserved the reprimand. But being ordered to tag along with some stranger who just turned up out of the blue? What the heck? May I ask why the U.S. Embassy is involved with this? No more questions, Kano. Step in line. Please just hold on. Sir, I have no idea what's going on here. Kuze let out an exasperated sigh. That makes two of us, kid. Huh. And with that, the director hung up. It sounded like even Kuze didn't have the whole story here, which meant that orders were coming from someplace higher. Foreign syndicate moving the ransom around the U.S. Embassy? Whatever was going on, it was more than just a local kidnapping case, and Kano was deep in the middle of it. He handed the phone back to Stanley. A few moments later, two detectives from the MPD arrived on the scene. Stanley handed over the fallen criminal to them. You're chasing a bum lead, you know, Stanley said as he watched them carry the man away. What do you mean, Kano asked. I mean, this kidnapping isn't about the money. My priority is the girl's safety. Right now, your priority is doing what I tell you to do. Kano gave him a scowl, but Stanley ignored it. That guy was just arrested? He asked. Tell you anything? No, nothing, Kano said. Really now. Outraged emotion drained from Stanley's eyes. His gaze pierced Kano like icy daggers. He felt the glimmer of something dangerous. Something Kano had seen plenty of times since he joined the force. He wasn't looking into the eyes of some diplomatic liaison. No. This was a man who knew how to kill people before. With some effort, Kano managed to regather his sense of professionalism. He didn't tell me anything, he repeated. I just know that he's a member of some foreign crime syndicate that works out of Shibuya. Probably knows some of their hangouts. Show me, Stanley said. Go as an automaton. We'll take my car. Kano wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded on his brow as they headed for the vehicle. He was just sliding into the passenger seat when Kuze radioed over the wireless. Okie dokie, folks, listen up. The childish tone was back in his voice, full force. Kano stifled a reflex. He knew what that meant. So, Hitomi Osawa has, gone missing. What? Kano couldn't believe his ears. Wasn't the Tenno supposed to be protecting her right now? Also, a detective to Tenno hasn't radioed in. Oh. And we can't reach him from our end either. No way, Kano blurted it out. It can't be. So yeah, Kuze continued. He might have gotten caught up in this incident too. Wasn't a detective with a Tenno statue to go out and communicado during an investigation. It could only mean that something had happened to him, something major. To be continued. Oh my gosh. An annoying way how to get to this part, but still brought me back my intrigueness, because now I want to continue. I'm tired. Trying to get here was the most tiring part. Who can you trust?